you're stopping by, you're highly welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, I love you. Thank you for stopping by again. So on today's YouTube video, I'm going to be showing you how I achieved this look. This is going to be a very detailed tutorial for beginners and anybody that is out there that wants to learn more on makeup. I'm going to be explaining detailedly. I'm going to be giving detailed explanation on the things I do for this look. So stay tuned for that. If you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscription button down below. Thank you. Eyebrows is done already. I'm going to leave a link to my eyebrow tutorial. It's still the same way I do my eyebrow, easy and simple, cheap. I'm going to be leaving the link to that at the description box down below, so please do well to check that out. The first thing I'm going to do after drawing my brows, for my eyeshadow, I'm not going to be doing anything dramatic since it's a beginners friendly makeup tutorial. I'm going to be using my NYX eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to be using the brown shade over here, this one. I'm going to be using it on my crease area. If you want to know where your crease area is, if you put your hand on your brows, you're going to feel a bone there. That is what we call the brow bone. So your crease area is just below your brow bone. I'm going to be using this brush. This is a fluffy brush. I got this one from AliExpress. If you want to actually see what you're doing very well, you could raise your brows up like the way I'm doing right now. So just raise your brows so you could just see what you're doing. I'm just going in a random motion, round and then back again, round and then back again. So I'm also going to take this outward. Notice some people, when they're doing their makeup, I'm just going over that brown shadow again, but I'm not making it too much. When they're doing their makeup, they're going to start with the skin work first before they go into their eyeshadow and their brows, but that is not how I do mine. I actually start with the eye pencil and eyeshadow before the skin work. If you're a beginner, this is the best way to learn. Then you can learn the other way when you're good with this part. So that is what I'm doing. I'm going to be doing the same thing at the other side of the eyes. Once I'm okay with that, I'm going to be using my eyeshadow primer on my eyes. I'm using the Banana Clear White. Not on the same part I apply the brown eyeshadow though. I'm going to be applying the primer on those parts the brown eyeshadow did not touch. So I'm just going to be putting this on my eyes like this. And if you notice, as I'm applying this, I am trying to blend it with my finger. I am using my index finger for this. Once you're done with that, you find out that there is still product on this hand and then you cannot blend it enough, so you just take another finger and try and blend everything. If you notice, I'm trying to blend the part that meets with the brown eyeshadow, so it's not going to have like a harsh line when I apply the other eyeshadow I want to apply. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other side of the eyes. Done with that, I am going to be using this light pink shade. If you want, you can use a shade like this. You could use something like this. You can use a shimmery shade. Actually, anything you want at this part is very okay, but then for your crease you have to be careful not to use any shade at all, because it might affect the whole eyeshadow and it might not make it come out pretty. But then once you're done with the crease, for the other parts you can use anything you want to. So I'm going to be using this big shade here. I'm going to be using this brush. It's like a flat and a fluffy brush together. I got this from the Coastal Scent 24 piece brush. So this is what I am using for the eyeshadow. Just applying this directly on my eyes. So I'm literally just packing this all on my eyes. So with the eyeshadow primer, it's helping the eyeshadow to be visible. So that is what is happening here. So I'm done with that. I'm going to go back to this fluffy brush that I use for the brown shadow, and I'm going to use that to blend the both eyeshadow together. Just at that line, the both of them meets, I'm going to try and blend this in a random motion, just like the way I'm doing. We'll go back to that pink shade because I do not want to lose my pink shade. Would I go on and blend again? Right now I'm going to use this light brown shade to blend again. because I was not really liking the way it's coming out, so I use that brown shade. I'm just going to blend everything together again. Then go back to that pink shade and then touch. Let's do the same thing for the other eyes. This is all we're going to be doing for the eyeshadow. The next step is optional. If you want to add liner to your eyeshadow, it's optional. If you don't want to, you can just leave your eyeshadow like that. But for this look, I'm going to be adding an eyeliner using a disposable eyeliner brush. For my eyeliner, I'm going to be using Glam's Gel. For eyeliner, you just want to be careful and try to make sure that you're not shaking your hands too much. Then I always start from the outer corner, which is here. I'm just going to try and give like call it a V line, but not as V as that, you get, just like it's lashes. But then you can see the difference with when I'm on lashes and when I'm on my natural lashes. It's actually kind of different. I think this is better. It's going to transform your makeup from this to that. This is all for the eyeshadow. So let's move into the skin work. Right now I'm going to be using my Omaricode moisturizer, and I'm going to be applying this on my face. So this moisturizer is just going to help keep your face moisturized. And I have oily skin, so don't feel that because your face is oily you should not use a moisturizer and so on. If your face is oily, your face is dry, a moisturizer is for every skin type. So wow, you do have to use a moisturizer. So I'm just going to apply this on my face. You can use a brush if you want to. Done with that, once you make sure that it's dry, I'm going to be using your primer. I'm going to be using the primer from Zaron, and I'm going to be applying this on my face. This is the amount I took. Just make sure that what you take is going to be enough for your face and to put everything on my face. This is like my skin prep. For my foundation, I'll be using the Zikel 2 foundation, and this is in the shade Zikel Tan. This is the first time I'm trying this foundation, so hopefully let's see how it's going to be. You use a brush for your foundation. You can use a beauty blender, anyone you want, anyone that works for you is fine. If you're using a beauty blender, just make sure that your blender is damp before you start your foundation. So we're applying this foundation with this flat brush. This is a brush I use to conceal my eyebrow. Using this brush, I'm going to be using that to blend. This brush, I am just dapping. I'm actually not doing like a random motion, and I'm not swiping. I'm just dapping this to my face. It's the same thing with the beauty blender. Actually, just dab this through your face. What do you think about this foundation? Is it nice on my skin? I think when I'm done with the makeup, I'm going to know how it is. So I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other side of the face. There's really nothing too much to say here. Like I said, just make sure you're just pushing this in your face. Just going to apply and normal layer foundation all on face. I'm going to be using my Zikel spray. I'm going to be using this to spray my face. So that I am going to be using my Eyeliner Pro concealer, and for my shade I'll be using the coat time. Using this to highlight my face. I actually don't want to apply much of this. I don't want to apply much of this, guys. The only product I'm using here is something that is actually very affordable, beginners friendly. You can see them and then get them. The truth is that I do not like concealing my nose. You know that thing that people are going to do like in the middle of their nose? I do not like doing it. It's at the bridge of their nose. I do not like doing it. So I'm not going to do that. Once you're done with your Eyeliner Pro concealer, you don't want to blend immediately, especially when you're using your Eyeliner Pro concealer. You do not want to blend immediately. Just wait for a while. Allow it to dry a little bit, not too much, then before you blend. I'm going to be using a brush to blend. You can use your beauty blender for this also. I'm going to start first with the forehead. That is where I like blending first. Just going to blend this. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to be going to on my lips, and I'm going to, that's the next part I'm going to blend. After that, I'm going to go to the under eyes, and I'm going to blend. Making sure that I am taking my time, so I'm not going to clean the eyeliner or the eyeshadow that I applied earlier. So guys, the next thing that you want to do is to use your contour. I'm going to be using this powder shade from the Zikel face kit. The shade actually. I'm just going to be using this fluffy brush. I'm going to be starting this from here. Just you see how where my ear is here, so that's the point I'm going to start from. I'm just going to take this downwards, but not to my lips. I'm going to stop where my cheeks stop, which is here. So we're just going to do this, and as you see, I am taking this upwards. I'm going to be doing the same thing at the other side of the face. Then you're also going to do this on the forehead. Also going to do this on the side of our nose. I'm going to be using the small blending brush, and I'm going to start just below my eyebrow, and I'm going to take it downwards. I'm going to be doing the same thing to the other side. So once I do that, I'm going to just blend blend. As you notice, you see that I am taking this towards my face. That is what I am doing. I am blending and I'm taking it towards my face. Next I'm going to do is to set my concealer. I'm going to be using, before I do that, I'm going to use this small blending brush to just blend, to just try and blend, because of this area has creased already. I left it for a while, so I'm just going to blend it again. I'm going to use my damp beauty blender, and I'm going to just take a little bit of this, guys, very little, directly under the eyes. Then I'm going to try and do the same thing on this part of my face. I'm trying to create like a reverse contour, just from the part that my contour stop. I'm just going to try and take this straight downwards, but not to my lips. I'm just setting all those parts. I applied my Afro concealer. Immediately I'm done with that, I'm going to use my powder brush to wipe everything off. If there is any excess, I'm going to wipe them off. And this is when I'm going to use my powder shade, and for my powder I'll be using these two shades, still from the Zikel face kit. Apply the powder everywhere on my face, everywhere. I'm done with that. I'll be using this big fluffy brush, using shade on my blush, still from the Zikel face kit. I'm actually going to be using the darker shade. So I'm just going to blend this. Try not to make it too much. One thing I want to make up is just to blend and then make everything feel like it's your skin, and you not put like too much excess stuff on your face again. So literally that's what I'm doing here. So once I'm done with that, I'm going to be using my Revolution Makeup Sugar to apply this directly under my brow bone. I'm going to apply a little bit of this at the inner corner. It is not a must. If you don't want to, there is no problem, but then I like it, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of that in the inner corners of my eyes. After that, I'm going to be using this a bronzer brush. I'm going to be using this on my cheeks. Just make sure you bring out your cheeks, or you smile if you want to, but don't smile. So I'm just going to bring on my cheeks, a little bit of that here, then I'll just take it upward if I want to. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the other side of my cheeks. You might not want to add bronzer to your makeup. It's not a must, but then I also feel it uplifts the makeup kind of, so that is why. Then I'm going to be using my index finger still on my bronzer, and I'm going to just put that on my nose and then blend this, blend it with a different finger, put on my nose and then blend a different finger, and then just take a little bit of the bronzer and add this to the bridge of my nose. I'm not really going to take this downwards. I'm just going to kind of stop here and then blend this with a different finger. Still with this bronzer brush, I'm going to add a little bit of the highlight on my forehead and then below my mouth here. So I'm going to apply this on my lips just before I apply my lipstick. Liner to your waterline. So I'm still using my Glam scale. I'm using this eye. So I'm just going to use this to blend. So I do not like the fact that the red or the purple is still very visible, so I'm just using nude to kind of make the liner not visible. Now with the lips, I'm going to be using my Kiss Beauty Fix spray, and I'm using this to spray my face. Hello, this is the end of our makeup tutorial. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope you learned one or two things from this. If you have any question concerning this look or concerning any makeup thing at all, please leave that at the comment section down below. I love questions. Ask me questions, I'm going to reply. Thank you for the love and for the support. Please don't forget to hit the subscription button and give this video a